What's up, guys? Welcome to a special episode. The all-time points leader for the Anaheim Ducks,
Yeah.
Ryan Getzlaf, has called it a career. Played his final game against the LA Kings, where he actually got an assist on a beautiful goal. No, I mean, I wouldn't really consider a spinorama pass, but like it was a no-look pass, and he got his final point in his final game, and very emotional against the Ducks, especially. That's a rival in California that has been going on for the last decade or
Did you
so.
say they played against the Ducks? He plays on the Ducks.
Oh, against the Kings. My bad. Yeah, Jesus, it's getting late there. So yeah, so we're just gonna make this video in terms of like honoring the best Ducks player of all time in terms of points. I don't think he's the best Ducks player of all time. I think that's Timo
Timo
Solani, but
Solani. Paul
that's a whole
Correa
different
too.
story. Yeah, Paul Career too. That's a whole different story. So we're just gonna be sharing, our memories basically about like what we think about Ryan Getzlaf, the player, and also the person. And also, this is like more of a tribute video, and
Yeah.
showing our love for this player. Represented Canada a couple times, won a Stanley Cup in 2007 with a stacked team playing with Scott Niedermayer, Chris Pronger, his partner in crime, Corey Perry, Dustin Penner, if you guys remember him as
Corey
well.
Yeah.
Perry, Bobby
Uh,
Ryan, Scott Niedermeyer. Let
yeah,
me see.
Sebastien
Giger.
Giger. Even Eli
Sako Quavo.
Bergislov was on that team.
Sako Quavo too.
Well, not that year. Sako
Well,
Koivu
yeah,
came in a little bit.
came later.
Yeah, and even Ryan Kessler, he was a great teammate of his too. So basically, just to sum up what he's done in his career, won a Stanley Cup in 2007 with the Ducks, two-time Olympic gold medalist, 2013, 2014. He represented the NHL All Star team. He played 1,156 games in the NHL, a total of 1,018 NHL points. Uh, Played for the represented Canada at the 2016 World Cup, won the gold medal. For the juniors, represented Canada in 2005, won the gold medal. 2008 represented Canada at the World Championships, won a silver medal. And in 2004 World Juniors, he won a silver medal. So this guy has a huge list of accomplishments in terms of
Yeah.
winning trophies and medals. But ultimately, I do believe that he is, the best captain in Ducks history. I'll give him that. But again, I don't think he is the best player of all time on the Ducks. And yeah, so do you guys have anything to share in terms of Ryan Getzlav?
Well, Ryan Getzlaf. We all know what type of player he was. He was more of a guy that got assists. Wasn't really much of a goal scorer in his career. But I think that one thing that Ryan Getzlaf did. One thing that I've always thought that Ryan Getzlaf was is that I found he was one of the most underrated players in the NHL. What I mean by that is I think that for a long time, I think a lot of people, would always talk about the stars, talk about Crosby, talk about, Patrick Kane, Pavel Datsuk at the time, all these big name players. And I think like Ryan Getzlaf got some recognition, but he wasn't necessarily recognized as this elite talent centerman. Like people knew who he was, people knew that he played with Corey Perry, people knew that he won a Stanley.
Fantastic and very
Yeah,
underrated dynamic duo. Like
but I
there
think,
is no Corey Perry without Ryan Getzlav.
but I
That's how I
think,
see it.
Well,
but I
Bobby
think,
Ryan too. Don't forget about him too.
but I
Yeah,
think,
he came. He wasn't there for that long. But like Corey Perry and Getzlav were paired up for a very long time. Like whenever Corey Perry scored a goal, especially the year that he won the Morris Richard Trophy, a huge part that played into that was Ryan Getzlav. Ryan Getzlav being that his centerman on that line, especially on the power play, like those two were unstoppable in the
but
2000s heading into the early 2010s.
But I think what's interesting too about Getzlaf is like I think it goes to show you that like it was one of those guys that I found personally at least he was one of the most like I mentioned before he wasn't one of the most underrated players but he was under the radar and I think this guy was the type of guy that like you wanted to have on your team like he's the type of guy where it's like let's say you're going for a cup run you want a guy like Ryan Getzlaf on your team he was a good leader he was a good captain for many years and I think that like in the end, he's everything he's done in his career. I mean, look, he won an Olympic gold. He's won a Stanley Cup. He's won pretty much anything you could win, pretty much, as a player in terms of like team success. And I think that for him, he's had a great career up until this point. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up in management at some point with the Anaheim Ducks. I know there was a rumor about potentially him joining the front office at some point. But
Also,
I think,
rumors that some players actually want him back for next season, and they're gonna try to force him during the off season to come back.
Yeah,
But it's very unlikely that's gonna happen.
honestly, I'm kind of shocked that he called it a career. It's not like he's having a bad season or like he can't play anymore. I think he's got at least one or two left, but I mean, I guess he wants to
well,
end it on somewhat of a high note. I mean, I know they
I
didn't make the
mean,
playoffs, but played
I,
played a pretty good season.
I mean, they had a very underrated season. They weren't supposed to be as good as they were, and they took a good step into the right direction. And at one point they were even in a playoff spot, and then they started to trickle down a little bit. And then they had a deadline where they got rid of guys like Raquel, Manson, and so on. So
well,
I
one of
mean,
the things that I noticed too, and obviously you talked about him calling it quits early. I know that last year when he hit, well, this summer, actually last summer when he hit the free agent market, he basically said that like he wanted to play for Anaheim, and that if Anaheim didn't offer him a contract, he wasn't going to play anywhere else. And there was rumors about him going to Montreal. There was rumors about him going to Edmonton too. There was a little
even
bit of rumors.
Boston.
There was Boston too. There was a few rumors about him potentially going elsewhere, but I think for Ryan Getzlaf, it was more of a question where it was like for him, he wanted to play in Anaheim, and he wanted to retire as an Anaheim Duck, and I think he's done that. But in terms of him not wanting to come back and play, I mean, look, he's 36 years old. Yeah, he hasn't had a bad season by any stretch of the imagination. If you look at where the Ducks are and what role he played for Anaheim, but I think even in terms of that, like I mean, this year, 37 points in 56 games, like yes, he had a better year than he did last year, but it starts to take a toll on a player too. 36 years old, you're playing first line minutes.
Never been
You
the
know,
fastest
you're
player
getting
too.
you're getting injured. You're getting injured too. Like it's not necessarily the best scenario for him to play. And also, like the Ducks are a rebuilding team, right? And I know that you want that type of leadership in your room, but if you go and look at their team from where they are now, Trevor Zegras has been fantastic. They've got a lot of young guys coming up, and I think that they're in a position and they're built to be in a position where it's like Trevor Zegras is now time. It's time for him to take the reins
I
and
don't think he
become.
will be named captain.
I
I
don't
think
think not about being named cap. I'm not.
I
I don't
think
think they're
Troy
gonna.
Terry's actually be
I
named
don't think they're.
captain,
I
but
don't think
that's a
they're
whole
gonna name a
different
captain.
debate.
Or it could be Charlie Conway. He could join the NHL at any
I
moment.
don't.
Speaking of that,
Fun
let's
fact.
show us your jersey.
The the greatness. Look at this. It's from the Disney. Here, I'll get up. You know what? Look at that. I got Charlie Conway in the. Or no, this is
It's
Adam Banks.
it's
Sorry,
Adam Banks. Wait, turn
Adam
around
Banks.
completely. I
Doesn't
want to
even
see the
know.
whole
Doesn't even know
thing.
what jersey he put on.
I gotta. You guys
There
see
you
it? Or,
go. Yeah,
Yeah,
look at
yeah, I
that.
see.
99.
Beautiful, Mr. Banks. And a lot of people joke around about that movie. You guys remember? I'm gonna
Well,
change the
look at my
subject fast.
background right now. It's
The
fantastic.
wrist. The wrist thing. I actually do that sometimes during games when I hurt my wrist. I don't know if you ever watched the movie
Yeah,
where he
I
hurts his
watched the
wrist,
first and
and
second
then
one. The
they tell
third
him
one I never watched.
hold a stick and rotate it, and that's how I check. I check. I don't know if it actually works, but I mean,
Speaking of Mighty Ducks, we've been dying to make a Ducks video. We were hoping that they were
oh
gonna make
yeah,
the playoffs, so we were gonna make like a Cup or Bus video or maybe a Why Are They So Good Ducks video. But unfortunately, they came short and they started dropping in the standings towards the end of the season. So we're like, when are we gonna make a Ducks video and show up all our Ducks merch? Well,
yeah. I was very sad when we
it,
didn't make
it
that video.
it's sad that like we're doing it on a Ryan Getzlaf tribute video, but at the same time, I mean, hey, it's our opportunity. So I have I don't know if you
I,
could see it. Oh my
actually,
God,
no,
never
you
mind.
can't because it's blocking your screen. Fun fact, actually, did you know Ryan Getzlaf could have been a Habs player?
Yeah, you could have been a Hab last year.
Instead, well, no, besides last year, we could have drafted him, but instead they decided to go with Andre Kostitin. I
Oh
don't know
well.
if you knew that.
Well, I
It,
mean, look, we could talk about what the Habs should have done for years, bro. We would be here all day.
I don't know. It's
But
just.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
background's gone.
show me the. Oh, you're gonna show the Gordon Bombay. Oh, look at that.
Okay, so this is the
What a
Gordon
beauty.
Bombay Funko Pop. I love this one, personal favorite. And then I also have this is actually one of my favorites. It was a must get for me. It's the Ryan Getzlav T-shirt, and it has the captaincy on it. So I wanted to show off that I've worn it a couple of times in past episodes and stuff, but I just wanted to show you guys because I mean, you know, now he's retired, right? So we're never gonna see him play again. So when are we gonna get a chance to ever show off this merch again? But there's one question that everyone's been asking, and I want to ask you guys this question.
Yeah.
Um, Ryan Getzlaf, does he go to the Hall of Fame?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I say yes too because like
Yes, but not as a first ballot Hall of Fame.
no, not right away. I think they should
No.
wait a couple years, maybe 5 years at least.
But yes, it
But
should.
when you're the Ducks all time leader in points,
Mhm.
when you're leading a franchise in points, that's an automatic like inductee right there, in my opinion. Not only that, he represented Canada on multiple occasions. He was captain for the Anaheim Ducks for 12 seasons. Made it to the playoffs many times as well, and like a part of one of the best dynamic duos or most underrated duos we've seen in modern hockey, which is Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaf. But my favorite moment that defines that dynamic duo essentially Game 5 versus Edmonton, May 5th, 2017. Corey Perry scored in double overtime with 13 minutes and 3 seconds left. So basically, Getzlaf somehow gets the puck. He has like two guys like on him, finds Corey Perry like entering the middle of the ice, right in front of the goalie, somehow gets the puck all alone, just goes towards the right side and just like flips it in, and there you have it. They win the game, and for me, like that was a defining moment for that dynamic duo, and again, reinforces you cannot have Corey Perry's success without Ryan Getzlaf and vice versa. They were very pivotal in each other's careers. And when they asked Corey Perry about how he feels about Ryan Getzlaf retiring, he was very emotional and he was crying. And, when you play with each other from, day one, entering the league, it's very emotional seeing your partner that you played up on the same line with, on the same team, on the same power play for for over a decade, and then obviously Corey Perry left to go to Dallas, then Montreal, now currently on Tampa Bay, but uh, it's never fun seeing your longtime partner, teammate, retire after that much time. So I mean, I
So
know.
I have two moments that I really like about Ryan Getzlaf. One of them happened this year actually, and the other one was when the year he won the Stanley Cup. And the reason why that is so memorable, and I know that people say, "Oh, it's such a cliche." You're saying that he won, but it's because you know how young he was when he won that Stanley Cup. Like, it was one of those things where it was kind of like he was a rookie, right? It was like his third year in the NHL, not even, and he had like just finished coming into the NHL and coming into his own. He had 17 points that year, the year he won the cup, and like he was
And a
dominant
stacked
for the
team
Ducks.
too.
Yeah, but he was absolutely dominant for the Ducks during that time, and I think he played a big role in the reason the Ducks won the cup. And I think that to me like really stood out because it's like Ryan Getzlaf came into the NHL, took it by storm, and became a real big force in the NHL for years to come. And the other big moment that I have a memory was when he beat Teemu Selanne for the all time points lead this year, and he actually did it against the Montreal Canadiens, which is kind of funny. But he basically tipped a nice puck right to Troy Terry's stick, to Sonny Milano, sorry, and basically scored. And it was a beautiful play. But I mean, I was happy for him there because I think it goes to show you just how much it meant to him as well and to his teammates, like to see them react the way they did when, that puck went in and he ended up getting the 989th point. I think it goes to show you like just how much his career meant to not only him and to his teammates, but also to just everybody around. Like it was at home too, and the fans like screamed. And I think it's something that I think is going to be memorable for him for a long time. So definitely two big moments for Ryan Getzlaf in his career. And I think there's obviously many more,
I mean,
but both of
yesterday,
those are
LA staying on the ice, shaking his hand, and that both teams are not fans of each other. The
yeah.
Battle of California for many years, even in the playoffs for many years, the stay and congratulate Getzlaf, especially having Kopitar on the ice, who's faced him many times, and also Dustin Brown, who's faced him many times, and Jonathan Quick. Slowly we're again with Tuukka Rask that we spoke about last time. The guys that we saw starting their careers are ending their careers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sad.
And
It's sad. Like we're old.
yeah,
We're getting old.
we're getting old. So
Oh man,
again,
we're gonna call ourselves the old guns. And
yeah.
I
So
know.
you
Not
see, you
anytime
see the
soon.
amount of players left on the LA Kings that have those memories against Getzlav. There's not many left. So
Drew
that must
Doughty,
have been very
Jonathan Quick, and
emotional for
Andre
them
Kopitar.
too. Drew Doughty wasn't there because he's injured, but he probably was there in the stands somewhere. And the speech he gave as well, thanking the fans, that was very emotional too. Tuukka Rask didn't get that opportunity to like play his last game and actually say he was playing his last game and get that whole like handshake and like tribute that he did. So for Getzlaf, this is extra special for him. So we just wanted to congratulate him on a great career. I always liked the Ducks mostly because of Corey Perry. I always liked him as a player, but again, without you can't have Corey Perry's success without Getzlaf, and that's why I have an appreciation for Getzlaf. And the game has sped up a lot, and Getzlav's not the fastest player, but he always found a way to slow down the game because of how much hockey knowledge he had, and he always knew where to find somebody, and it proved that again yesterday on that goal that he assisted yesterday, that no look pass that was fantastic, and very underrated player, very underrated playmaker, and yeah, so congratulations, Getzlav, and on behalf of the Young Guns podcast, we wish you the best, and hopefully the Ducks continue to take the next step and carry the great success that Getzlav was able to you know to be a part of for many years before that. So just wanted to say thank you so much, guys, for listening to us once again. Don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and we're almost at 600, so that's going to be fantastic if you guys could help us get there. Our goal ultimately is to hit 1K, 1,000 followers, and we're gonna be posting a lot of matchup videos in the upcoming days, weeks, because the playoffs are starting, and we have a video that we're working on. I don't know if it's gonna be a success in terms of like, is it gonna be the video that we're really working on? But you guys probably have an idea since we're from Montreal. It's a tribute video for Guy Lafleur. We were able to attend the game yesterday. It was very emotional for us, obviously being the all-time points leader for the Montreal Canadiens and phenomenon in the 1970s. So we hope that you guys could check out that video. It's a live video, so maybe it's not the best quality, but we just want you guys to experience what we experience in terms of the shouting and the tribute and all the emotions. I know like Sportsnet and other people already posted it, but in terms of what we experienced, that video, I hope you guys check that out. So I just wanted to say thanks once again, and we'll see you on the next episode.